Hey guys, welcome back to the Doug and Corey Show.
In this video, we're going to discuss the Marvel announcements from San Diego Comic-Con.
Is the MCU doomed?
Stick around.
I mean, technically,
It is doomed. All right, guys. So San Diego Comic-Con was last weekend, and Marvel had some pretty big announcements. Not everything we were expecting and hoping for, but they did announce some cool stuff and show some cool stuff.
Yeah. One of the things that turned out to be true is that they really didn't talk about any Disney Plus shows and just stuck to the movies.
Yeah, so that'll likely be coming out in D23 in the near future.
Yep.
But the first thing that they did show is some more footage from Captain America Brave New World, which comes out in February of next year.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie and a few other people on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford hulked out a little bit.
We had some kind of fun banter between him and Anthony Mackie.
Him talking crap about Tom Holland because Tom Holland used to say he didn't have his own solo movie. Yeah, he's not 5'11" or whatever.
Yeah, and he never will be.
Yeah, that's funny.
But he did get a movie, so yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah.
So yeah, they officially are gonna go back to showing some more of Tiamat and explaining some more of what's going on with that. They did confirm that he's going to be either partially or completely made out of adamantium. They're going to use that to mine adamantium, and a bunch of different, I'm sure, government agencies are going to be trying to all go after that.
Yeah, that was some of the early rumors that the movie is going to be kind of like based around this world struggle for this new resource. Yeah. And it seems like that's kind of how it's playing out.
It is called Brave New World, so that is kind of cool. It seems more like Winter Soldier-esque, which is really cool. That's one of my favorite MCU movies, period.
Definitely up there for me as well.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes with, Anthony Mackie as the Captain America now, with no Steve Rogers in this movie, likely. That'd be kind of take away if they had him in at some point.
I don't think we'll get him. Yeah.
Hopefully they hint at where he's at, maybe back in the other side of the moon or wherever. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I thought he was in the void. I thought that was going to be him. He got pruned.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm expecting that we're going to see like a mini Avengers lineup. He's probably going to like try to start rebuilding. That's what Harrison Ford says, is he wants to bring back the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they say at the beginning.
Well, we do know we're getting a new Falcon taking over for Anthony
Joaquin Torres will be the new Falcon.
Yeah. So we've got a couple guys at least.
And from what they said, a lot of people have rumored is that Harrison Ford's going to Hulk out towards the beginning of the movie, like while he's in the press conference as the president. So we'll probably get him building this team. There'll probably be other Hulks involved, I would imagine. You're going to need someone strong to take on a Red Hulk, especially because Red Hulk, as he gets more angry, he doesn't get stronger like the Hulk does. He gets hotter. He starts to build up heat, causing fire and stuff. Yeah. Red Hulk, according to my son, is his favorite character now. That's Dexter's favorite. Just he likes that he's jacked like him. That's what he likes, not because of anything else. He just likes that he's jacked.
Yeah. So we don't know really what the conflict will be between Red Hulk and Captain America. We do know there is one, though. I mean, whether it's the ultimate, climax of the movie or not, we don't know, but clearly in the trailer we see footage of him catching and throwing down the shield, so we know that they're having some sort of a fight.
And I guess at Comic-Con they showed more footage and better looks at Red Hulk. I don't think that those images have been released that I've seen, but apparently you get better looks at him, and he's cool with. I guess he looks good with the mocap and everything.
Well, yeah, we only get a shot kind of from like the back side of him in the original trailer. We don't see his face or anything. So
yeah. But with AI, I can imagine what he'd look like. I'll put some pictures up of what Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk could look like. I've done that in the past. Yep. And then the next thing one other thing is that Giancarlo Esposito is officially Sidewinder, which is the leader of the Serpent Society.
Yep.
And that was one of the rumors of this storyline back in the day, was that it was going to be involving the Serpent Society. Like that was going to be like the main focus of it, I think, at one point.
Yeah, there were so many guesses as to who he's going to be playing, and as far as I know, he said no one ever guessed it.
I'd never heard anything about that.
Yeah,
I heard George Washington Bridge, who was like a former SHIELD agent.
Yeah,
heard a bunch of different things, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know much about the Serpent Society, honestly. I should, but I don't. But it should be pretty cool. And he did say that there's gonna be a series after. So I don't know if they're gonna do a Serpent Society Disney Plus show at some point, or
what if they did and it was not called Serpent Society but instead called Nomad.
That would be cool.
I don't know if Chris Evans would ever like downgrade to a Disney Plus show from the movies.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. If they pay him enough, he might.
That's true.
That's why some other people are coming back. They're getting some good money.
Hugh Jackman.
Him too. He'll be Wolverine until he's 90.
Yeah. Apparently, according to Wade Wilson.
Yeah. And then, so is there anything else you want to talk about for Captain America before I move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't personally get to see the footage, so it's
Obviously,
kind of a bummer. But I mean, I do like the fact that there's officially adamantium now in it, and so it's just more tie-ins with mutants and stuff.
Yeah, and that was one of the rumors, is that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine may show up in this movie, which I wouldn't expect. But with the adamantium, I heard that it would be Wolverine and Stryker, showing up in this movie as well, because Stryker's huge in as far as the creation of a lot of these superhumans.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Obviously, it's not done. Is it done? I don't think it's done filming, or is it? Maybe.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's done. They did do reshoots, which is apparently they didn't have Giancarlo Esposito in the movie at all. They did reshoots to add his character, which seems like a pretty significant addition. So I'm guessing they did some major rewrites to do that. But yeah, I think now it's officially wrapped. I mean, it's coming out with February, you said?
Yeah, so they got to be in post-production if not already close to done.
Yep.
And then the next thing that they discussed was the Thunderbolts. They showed some more footage from that. From I didn't see it, but from what I read online, is that it starts kind of the main focus is on Yelena
Belova, yeah.
And her showing up back home, and where David Harbour's Alexei, the Red Guardian, is at, and she calls him Dad, because he's kind of like her father figure.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like maybe mainly focused on them, but I think all these different characters and villains all get kind of assigned to this same mission, project, whatever, and kind of goes haywire from there, like kind of a similar to a Suicide Squad type of movie. But they're not all a team initially. I think I'm not really sure what Bucky's role is going to be. He's going to be in it, but not. I don't think he's going to have like a huge role.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what his role is in it. I mean, there's a few things going on there, right? I mean, he was kind of like brainwashed and working for the Russians. Then you got Yelena Belova and Red Guardian. I don't know if they ever had any interaction before, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see if they have any knowledge of each other. It's just kind of a motley crew, a lot of random like anti-hero type characters kind of being brought together. Not surprised they're going to focus around Yelena Belova. Florence Pugh is an amazing actor. David Harbour too, and the two of them together I think is going to be great to see them again. So
yeah,
apparently there is a lot to do with their relationship and stuff in this, and how it's changed over the years, since we saw them last together. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and then they showed Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Val in Avengers Tower, apparently. So maybe hinting at that the government or she personally bought Avengers Tower. I don't know. They never addressed what the asterisk is yet on the Thunderbolts logo.
They literally said you have to see the movie, so we might not find out till the movie comes out.
Yeah, something I saw from one of the scoopers, Daniel RPK. I think he said that the asterisk stands for the New Avengers. Like they're trying to make them the new Avengers team. But if anything, they're going to be like the Dark Avengers, like more of like the, that kind of storyline. But I don't know. We'll see. I hope that they do, since the Red Hulk's coming with Brave New World, which comes out before the Thunderbolts. I'm hoping that the Thunderbolts is Thunderbolt Ross. That's his nickname.
Feige was asked that, and he kind of skirted around it and basically said that it's not because of him anymore. So, but they didn't explain where the name comes from then.
Yeah, because in the comics, it's because of him. It's a
Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he'll be in it, or at least mentioned or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess that one I think is almost done, or is done filming as well. That comes out next year. So they really only touched on a few of the movies. They didn't touch on Blade because that was supposed to come out in 2025. So I'm guessing that's delayed some more till 2026.
Which we're not surprised about, just because at this point, unless there's stuff they haven't told us, there's no director, no finalized script.
The only thing that Feige said is that Blade will be the next R-rated MCU movie.
Yeah, he did officially confirm that, because we had something from the old director before he was no longer on the project, saying that it was going to be R-rated, but it was kind of we talked about it in one of our previous videos. It was kind of ambiguous because he was talking about another movie he's involved in. So it was like, well, was he talking about that movie or Blade? But now we got official confirmation that Blade will be rated R, which I think is good.
I think Thunderbolts would have been a good R-rated movie if they could have, maybe not like all the F-bombs like Deadpool, but
Yeah.
like they could have made it more violent. That seems like a perfect team to make up some, R-rated content for.
I see that, but I feel like you are limiting, even though, don't get me wrong, Deadpool made a crap ton of money. So you can do it as an R-rated movie, but it does.
It won't have the same draw as Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think it'll be fine at PG-13, but
yeah,
I'm just, I want to see some more, craziness.
Maybe they'll release an R-rated cut.
Maybe. I don't know. So then I guess they showed a new Taskmaster costume, because I guess Taskmaster's old costume from Black Widow is very similar to what Ghost looks like. And so Ghost will be back. They're going to have, a few other people. Maybe Abomination will show up. Who knows? I mean, that's kind of rumored.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. That would make sense, honestly, for this kind of a team, for sure.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I thought it was funny that David Harbour came out dressed as Alexi, and like he was kind of like announced him.
Let me down. He's almost like he's gonna cry.
Yeah, because nobody else dressed up, and then he just kind of left.
It was like clearly staged.
Oh, for sure.
But I love David Harbour, and him as Alexi as the Red Guardian is hilarious. I don't know. For some reason, I really enjoy people doing fake Russian accents. I don't know what it is.
You just love the Russians. So,
yeah. Hey, how dare you?
I'm just kidding.
That's a Colossus joke, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. Anything else about the Thunderbolts?
Well, I'm excited for this team. This group of actors is gonna be really fun to see together. Even Wyatt Russell, I'm like a lot more into his. Ever since Monarch, I've like enjoyed him as an actor more, and I think I'll appreciate him playing this character more. And then we got
before you switch to the next person, I think he did say like, someone asked him like, what are they going to think about your character? And he's like, you guys are going to fucking love me or whatever. Like basically like, does that mean like they're going to hate him? Like they're going to love this? Like, cause he was kind of like hated in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's like the bad Captain America. Essentially. He's like evil.
Yeah. I mean, he had a little bit of a redemption arc at the very end of that series. So I think it, make people like him a little bit more. But I mean, this is kind of an anti-hero type group, so he may still be a little bit unlikable. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
The whole group of actors was really kind of like cagey about what they're saying about. So like they really couldn't say much. We know we're gonna get Sentry in this movie, right?
Oh yeah, they showed what's his name, Bob Reynolds. They showed well, that's not the actor, that's the Sentry.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's Pullman.
Lewis Pullman is playing Bob Reynolds, who is Sentry.
Yeah.
But Sentry also has the Void, which is like a negative side of him. So he might be playing two roles potentially in this movie.
As far as what was talked about by him, he literally just talked about the fact that he's in a hospital gown almost the whole time, and that he got to be all comfortable while everyone else is in these like, restrictive suits, and how he didn't have any problems having to go use the restroom and everyone else did. So he really didn't say much other than that. We know he's definitely going to spend some time in a hospital of some sort. That's like all we know.
I believe they said that he was in some kind of compound. I think that's the job that they're all going after, that they're all assigned to, is like freeing him essentially. Like he's in this silo or something where he's locked up.
Not in the raft?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see the footage, so I'm not really sure where he's at. But he's locked up and I guess they're all kind of trying to go get him essentially, or free him for Val maybe. She's trying to use him for her own plans. That's my guess.
Yeah.
That's my educated wish.
Yeah, well, they need someone who could fight Emilia Clarke's character, which I forgot her name again.
Gaia,
thank you. Need someone who could fight the Drax arm.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's so bad. They like really set themselves up for failure with that thing.
They tried, and it just sometimes you shoot too high and it just doesn't work. That one was one of them.
They're gonna just leave that be, just not address it again.
Probably for the best if they don't, to be honest. But who knows? I mean, there's a lot of movies and stuff that they haven't touched on stuff since. So who knows?
Well, Tiamat's one of them, and circling back finally. So
yeah, and like someone in one of the comments that I was reading on X, they were saying, like, wait, Wolverine's in the 616? And I'm like, well, yeah, they kind of hinted that in She-Hulk when they talked about Tiamat, and they had that news article where they said the man with claws and a bar brawl. Yeah. So maybe there is a version of Wolverine already in the 616. Maybe that will be our new Wolverine going forward. Yeah, maybe. Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I think the fact that we didn't get, sorry, circling back to Deadpool Wolverine stuff, but
hey, it's fresh in our brain.
Yeah, the fact that we really didn't get hardly any cameos of different Wolverine variants, other than Henry Cavill. We thought we were going to kind of get set up with our new 616 Wolverine. It didn't happen, so maybe it will in this movie.
Maybe, who knows?
It's probably gonna be Hugh Jackman again. Like you said, he's gonna play till he's 90.
If he's enjoying the role, I mean, people aren't going to complain. He's a great actor.
That's true. But I can't see him doing it for a whole like phase or two. You know,
He's over 50 now. I don't know how old is he. He's in his late 40s, if not 50s.
No, I think he's mid 50s.
Because I think Ryan's in his mid 40s, right?
Yeah, I think Hugh Jackman's 54, 55, somewhere there.
Well,
I mean, he's
got
still
40 more years of playing the role, so that's not too bad.
Still the Hugh Jackman. He's still ripped, but yeah, he's got a ways to go still. So maybe you're right. You know, he's got several years.
Well, we'll see what happens with the Thunderbolts. I mean, that's not my. I do want to see it. That's not my most anticipated movie, but I think as it gets closer and we see some actual footage of the movie for the public, I think it'll hype it up some more for me.
Yeah, I think there's some chance for some really fun interaction between these characters, but some of them. Ghost was kind of not very memorable for me. Taskmaster
is such a cool character in general, but in Black Widow was terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
I think Black Widow in general just wasn't great. I mean, I really like David Harbour, so I'm excited for Alexi.
Yeah,
and Yelena, I think Florence Pugh does a really good job with that character, so I'm excited for her character. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they, it seems like they're focusing on quality over quantity now, and they're really focusing on bringing us some quality products, hopefully. So
that's good.
See what they do with it.
Yeah, so pretty much that was most of what happened for the Thunderbolts. The next big thing, and probably would have been the biggest announcement if they hadn't done the one at the end, but was the Fantastic Four. They got a new official title. It's called Fantastic Four: The First Steps, which is kind of implying that this is like either the first steps in this new universe, or like, because the Fantastic Four is the first family of Marvel. They're some of the first characters, and so this is going to take place in a alternate 1960s universe where it's more futuristic. They have flying cars, like everything's more where we thought we would be in the future for our timeline. We're not quite there, but we're getting close. We got some flying cars being built.
Retro future,
Yeah, so I mean, they literally had a freaking Fantastic car flying around Hall H. Granted, it's probably a very lightweight, multiple drones and stuff, which is fine.
I think it was just a little like.
But it was cool. Like no one I expected to see a flying car in there. I don't believe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like a helium-filled. It had lights and stuff on, though. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it did not move very quickly.
No.
Hopefully that's not actually what they're taking to London, right? That's what they joked about. They're going to take the flying car to go film. Yeah, it's going to take them a while.
So they're filming it officially now, like you said, in London. They showed the little bit of time that Matt Shackman got with them to have them suit up in costumes and stuff. He did some footage, and he was able to put this like little mini trailer together of sorts where it showed them like on a dating game where this girl was like asking them questions, and I guess Ben Grimm was in his thing form. So they're kind of maybe hinting at that maybe that's his love interest because she's blind, Alicia Masters, I believe. And they are rumored to have Puppet Master in this movie, so it's possible that it could be her. That's his daughter.
Gotcha, yeah.
So, we'll see. I mean, they obviously haven't filmed anything yet, so we don't have it. Well, they maybe filmed a little bit by now, but
probably not much. But
probably not a whole lot. Yeah. But we'll get some behind the scenes stuff, I'm sure, popping up if they film anything outdoors.
So hard nowadays to get anything done without those photos showing up online.
I heard that Marvel does shoot down people's drones if they try to fly over sets and stuff, which good for them, like they're trying to ruin their stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to get some of these behind the scenes shots, but then stuff does get spoiled, and it's kind of fun to go in there fresh, not knowing what to expect. So
yeah, a lot of us weren't sure about Pedro as Reed Richards because he is the smartest man in the universe, essentially, or one of.
A lot of people, not a lot of some of us, because I think we both agreed that we thought he would do a good job.
Yeah, but a lot of people in general.
Yeah. Some
people were thinking he might not be able to pull off that role as being the most intelligent man. Not that anything against him in general, just not what a lot of people envisioned. But apparently from this footage, he seemed like he's kind of doing like a kind of a nerdy professor type of thing, which we'll see, see how he does.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to do just fine. He's an amazing actor, and they're reading lines, he doesn't need to actually know what everything means that he's, reading or reciting. So
yeah. So they did show the first glance of Galactus's eyes. They show him kind of looking into what's probably the Baxter building. He's looking into some kind of windows.
Pretty huge, but not quite as big as he can be.
Not as big as like a Celestial or what he would normally expect him to be, when he's going to devour a world. But
Yeah.
in the comics, he does shrink down to like human size at certain points. So I'm sure he shrinks down to like kind of peer into what's going on.
It may have. I mean, it was test footage, right?
Oh, of course.
That type of scene may never even happen in the movie, but still pretty cool to get to see that we were definitely getting Galactus.
Yep. And supposedly he's the only Galactus in the multiverse, kind of like America Chavez. They did say that he was the only one. So our guess is at the end of this movie is that universe is going to be destroyed by Galactus most likely, and then Reed and the Fantastic Four are going to end up in the 616 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to. I can't imagine them keeping the Fantastic Four separate from everything. So I think they're definitely going to have to jump to a different, universe and apparently timeline, because I can't imagine them coming to the 616, but in the 60s still.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting, because I don't know that there's really been much discussion about when you jump to a different universe, whether or not that's same present day or not, like changing.
Yeah, I think they can jump time and space. So I think they could jump to a different year, but who knows? I really don't know what they're going to do yet. I believe that it's been confirmed that Sue is pregnant with their first of their two kids. They have Franklin and Valeria as their kids, who are also extremely powerful and smart as well. Valeria, I think, is ultimately one of the smartest, if not smarter than her dad at some point. But they're not born as of yet, and they do hint at the Future Foundation, which is one of the things in Fantastic Four where even Spider-Man's a part of at one point. He has like the white suit and everything. So that'd be kind of cool.
So I'm assuming we're getting an established Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Probably not going to get an origin story for them.
I think they confirmed that it's not going to be an origin story.
Yeah, which is kind of good, because we've had that. I think most of us know by now roughly how they get their powers. I'm sure there'll be some sort of exposition somehow that kind of hints at some stuff maybe, but
hopefully Gambit does the exposition though.
Yeah, we don't be knowing that it ain't coming off without that dome gonna come off with it.
I'm so sorry, beautiful. I want this to be gentle. Who is your dialect coach? The Minions? I feel like we were missing critical exposition here.
Yeah,
that's funny. Anyways,
and like his Cajun.
I feel like we're missing a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited. The Fantastic Four, they did confirm are going to show up in the next two Avengers movies, in Avengers 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're going to be a big part of the MCU going forward.
Yeah, I mean, the Fox Fantastic Four movies were not my favorite by any means, but the choices for these actors, I'm really excited about. I didn't know much about Ebon Moss-Bachrach until The Bear, and I'm all caught up on that, and he's an amazing actor. Vanessa Kirby, she's been in a ton of stuff. I'm quite familiar with her work, and the same with Pedro Pascal. Mm-hmm. Getting I'm forgetting his name right now.
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. Ghost Rider's in this movie apparently.
I'm about drawing a blank on his name for whatever reason too. That's so weird.
Yeah, so Joseph Quinn's been in a few things lately. He's going to be in Gladiator 2.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Pedro's in that too.
Yeah, Pedro's in that as well. Yeah.
I think Paul Mescal or whatever, who's like the main character in that Gladiator 2. I think he was rumored to be Johnny Storm at one point too. So it's kind of interesting that one of them was going to be Johnny Storm.
Yeah. So Joseph Quinn, man, in Quiet Place Day One, like, it's amazing. Obviously, if you've seen him in Stranger Things, he's amazing in that as well.
Unfortunately, only had like part of a season to really show his acting chops, but he did a great job in that.
Yeah. So I'm excited for him in this role. He brings such a level of emotion that, especially in a movie like A Quiet Place, where like they couldn't really even say a whole lot, but just his physical acting is great. So quite excited for this cast of characters. And Ralph Ineson as well as Galactus. I love his voice acting, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know who you are anymore, or what you want. I only know what you used to say. That you were tired of running. Then at least have the decency to join me for supper. I'm bloody hungry.
So yeah, I'm just really excited to see where this goes. And I don't know.
I think this one will show more of where the MCU is going than what Deadpool and Wolverine did. I think this is going to set up these incursions more so and lead up to the next Avengers movies. So,
yeah, that's very likely.
So yeah.
So speaking of the next Avengers movies, we got kind of a big announcement that we expected, kind of rumored that we're getting, and the Russo brothers officially back on stage. They seem like they maybe were thinking about backing out there on the stage, and Feige was like, "Nope, you're locked in."
Yeah.
So yeah, coming back to direct both 5 and 6, right?
Yep. So 6 is still going to be Secret Wars as planned, but no longer doing the King Dynasty anymore.
Yeah,
After all the
officially
Jonathan
confirmed,
Major
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. They may have King in the movie, but likely a very, very small role if they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the official title, Doomsday.
Doomsday.
So
yeah.
they brought a bunch of Dooms out on the stage
Yeah, and Cillian Murphy was not one of them.
that we know of. They didn't show all of them.
That's true. They didn't all unmask.
Yeah. But the one that did was Robert Downey Jr.
Downey Jr.,
Getting him
yeah.
back. That was that was the biggest news for sure.
Yeah, and that was rumored. I think we talked about one of our recent videos.
Yeah,
that
I
that
think
was,
I put up a little. I think I still have it in my folder of like showing him being rumored as returning as Doom.
Yeah, and it is. There is some comic background for this, so we'll see.
He said new mask, same task. So essentially, that's what Tony did. He was trying to get a suit of armor around the world.
Yep.
Now they're going to probably be Doom bots around the world.
I was gonna say part of him trying to do that created Ultron, and that didn't really play out so well. So
yeah, this likely will be an alternate universe Tony, since Tony from the 616 sacrificed himself, which a lot of people were upset. Like, oh, well, I guess the scene in Logan and the scene in Endgame don't mean anything if these guys are coming back, but they're variants. They're not the same people.
it's also a comic book movie, and it really doesn't mean much in the comics either. Like,
Sure.
I think almost every single comic book character has died and come back. So
Maybe with the exception of Uncle Ben, but he's probably been back at some point, I'm sure.
yeah,
A variant of
probably.
Uncle
He
Ben.
probably has, yeah. And there's been several Uncle Bens, obviously, because there's just a ton of different Spider people. So yeah.
I don't know. They're supposedly going to have this movie out in 2 years, so they're going to have to start filming it. I believe early next year. They're already planning on getting it filmed out. I believe in London as well.
Yeah.
From what I heard.
It's coming out almost exactly a year from now?
That's Fantastic Four is coming out a year from now. They said
yeah.
Fantastic Four is in 1 year, and then Doomsday will be 2 years.
Sorry.
May.
Talking about Doom, I'm thinking Fantastic Four still. Sorry.
And there's likelihood that he's going to show up in a post-credit scene as Robert Downey Jr. is Doom.
Yeah.
Doom is the main character, the main villain of the Fantastic Four.
So I haven't read a lot of Fantastic Four comics, but obviously Victor Von Doom is a major villain, if not the absolute major villain in the Fantastic Four comics.
Yeah.
And I believe there's something that takes place where Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom, where he steals his body, puts his mind into Tony Stark's body or something.
Swap or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess Tony Stark as Doom, he goes to Latveria or whatever, and he has like his Iron Man color scheme, but Doctor Doom costume. And I guess at one point Doom wants to switch back, and he's like, no, I don't want to go back to being Iron Man, Tony Stark. Like, I just want to be here. He kind of like, no, I'm staying Doom. Like,
yeah.
So
I imagine we have to get something to set things up, though, right? I mean, we might just get Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom from a different universe, with maybe a tiny bit of background explaining it. But
that will be crazy that when the Avengers who knew Tony see Doom, like especially Peter, especially Tom Holland's Peter, that's going to be crazy because he was so attached to him. That was like his father figure.
It's heartbreaking, man.
It's crazy. So he got paid. Apparently he's getting $80 million for these 2 movies and maybe a few other little quick scenes.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not sure. It's likely that it'll join the $1 billion club, so, what's 80 mil, and it's 80 mil. He's
over two movies. Too, so those are going to be a couple billion.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Have you seen that? So officially 34 movies and they're at $30 billion.
Yeah. The first franchise ever to pass.
That's crazy. They're like averaging darn nearly $1 billion per movie, which is crazy.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
But hey,
so they can afford 80 million to bring him back. Now what's
that'll give us a couple million then. We're promoting their stuff for free. Not that they need it.
They're getting a ton of promo from us.
Yeah. Well, mostly what we talk about is Marvel stuff.
No, for sure.
So, and all the other channels out there, they should kick us all a little bit of money.
I mean, realistically, there's a lot of other channels that are making some money for doing this kind of content. We're not quite there yet.
We're not there. We're smaller, but we'll get there eventually.
Get there eventually. Yep.
I don't know, but either way, Russo brothers are back, so that's exciting. They've made some of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Infinity War is way up there. Endgame's up there. Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Civil War, yeah.
Like those are some classics for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Civil War is kind of like almost an Avengers level movie, you know, with how many different characters are in that movie. So they've directed practically 3 Avengers movies already, you know.
Yeah, and then got 2 more to go. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what the next few years bring with all this stuff, all the leaks that come out for this. But yeah, so no more Kang, officially not as the main villain.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I mean, Kang is a fine character. He's cool. I mean, some of the backstory of Kang is really cool. And it sucks that they set up so much for Kang to not use him.
Yeah.
I love Jonathan Majors as an actor. Obviously, he had some issues and some mistakes that he made, which cost him a good portion of his career, if not his whole career. But, you know, hopefully they find a good actor to play Kang for whatever role they use him in. Likely, if you've read the comics, he'll be probably a similar role to Molecule Man. Well, he'll be the one that kind of is a variant in the different universes that kind of like sets off this, you know, Secret Wars, you know, all these incursions. And I've heard that they may or may not do actual Battle World like they do in Secret Wars in the comics, but, you know, he may be the one that kind of like sets it up where it leads to the eventual new MCU.
Yeah.
So.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do Battle World. I'm sure they could find a way to do an intriguing story around it, but it just didn't seem like the basis for a real strong story for the 6th Avengers movie, you know?
Yeah.
As far as Kang goes, yeah, me as well. I'm bummed out that Jonathan Majors is no longer in the MCU. He's an amazing actor. Like you said, he made some mistakes. You know, I don't think his career's done. I think he'll be maybe out of the public eye for a little while. But I think, especially since the charges he was convicted of were the more minor offenses, I think that we'll see him come back. Maybe not with Disney, but I'm sure some studio's going to pick him up at some point. You know, I mean, we've had a lot of actors and directors and people get redeemed, right? I mean, Robert Downey Jr. alone had his own, you know, troubles and stuff.
James Gunn now freaking runs DC, and he had his issues where they kicked him out of being the director for Guardians for a while.
So what you're saying is Jonathan Majors is going to DC?
He might.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
The Martian Manhunter? I don't know.
No, he's a really good actor. As far as the Kang part of it goes, I'm not super bummed. I know we've talked about it before. I just didn't feel like Kang was like as big of a threat as he should have been. They didn't really hype him up and build him up enough, in my opinion. So we'll see what they do with Doom. I mean, hopefully there's some sort of setup for him and we're not just thrown into like, you know, an Avengers movie where they're facing Doom without any background.
I'm sure that, yeah, they'll have to explain it.
Yeah.
Especially with it being Robert Downey Jr.
It's just interesting. We don't have a lot of movies to get us there, you know?
Well, not a lot that have been officially announced. That's something we may get more of at D23. They're going to focus on the shows, but they may announce some more movies too. They're likely going to have a Shang-Chi 2. We'll get into this more in our other video, but they're going to announce the other movies that they haven't really talked about.
Yeah.
That are going to fall in Spider-Man at some point.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 4.
True. They definitely focused on the movies that are coming out
in the next year
that we knew about kind of already, you know, that were already confirmed. But like, I mean, even Doomsday, they just a title change. They already announced that they're doing this 5th Avengers movie. So it was really just kind of reaffirming the title or announcing a new title and then bringing Robert Downey Jr. on stage and really building up that hype because, I mean, I think everyone still loves the golden age of the MCU, you know. You had your original Avengers, so bringing him back,
he could still return as a Iron Man in Secret Wars. He could be playing 2 roles.
Yeah,
it could be a variant.
Or we might get our superior Iron Man finally, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah. I heard rumor that they are trying to get him back as that role that they were trying for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Tom Cruise because of his personal life choices and stuff, Scientology and all that. But that dude, he's 100% all the time, man. He gives it all, and
I think
I would love to see him in that role.
That'd be yeah.
Even
if it was just a cameo like Henry Cavill as the Cavalrine, like it'd be cool to have him in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Superior Iron Man is one of those classic storylines where he is more of a villain. He's more, you know, he's not the hero.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our conversation for the announcements at San Diego Comic-Con. Let us know what stuff you're most excited about down in the comments below.
Be sure to like and subscribe and have a marvelous day.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Doug and Corey Show.
In this video, we're going to discuss the Hall H announcements from Marvel.
Is the MCU doomed?
Stick around. I definitely want to do that again.
Okay.
I set it completely off of what I
I didn't even
plan.
I didn't even wear green on purpose, but it makes sense for.
Uh-oh. The background. I'm going to have to find like a shade of green where it doesn't shine through.
No. I think it's fine. I've worn this before.
Okay.
But I was talking about wearing green because Doctor Doom.
I know, but I just had like the background.
Yeah. I also have green on my watch face. Does that get blocked out by the
Probably not.
the background? It's pretty.
Maybe.
That's a lot closer. Can I get it? Someone honking horn? Is the corn guy out there?
The dogs are not liking it though. They don't like corn.
Wow, they don't want the corn cart guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Dang,
anyway,
there's so much beeping and noises going on. You guys may not be able to hear it on the video. I don't know. And it's probably going to get cut out, but which is a good time for me to itch my nose. It's itchy.
you could probably cut here and then find out
Yeah.
what his name is.
Why am I forgetting his name right now? Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn, yeah.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's going in the outtakes.